One of the biggest stories, surprisingly enough, coming out of Raw last night was Kane, which has not been said in quite some time, because we know that Corporate Kane has not been a focal point of the show, or at least an interesting focal point of Monday Night Raw in quite some time. But nevertheless, he was last night in various backstage segments, teasing tension with the Authority and Seth Rollins and Big Show and all these other guys. So the biggest story coming out of Raw last night was that Orton and Seth were picking the stipulations for their match at Extreme Rules in only a couple more weeks. And Seth Rollins wanted Kane to lie down for him so he can get the easy win and pick up the stipulation. So when he went to go do that, long story short, got a 2 count, Kane kicked out, rebelled against Rollins, rebelled against J&J Security before ultimately lying down in what I thought was one of the better segments of the night. So RJ, I'll start with you. What were your thoughts on the whole story surrounding Kane last night on Monday Night Raw? Do you think a face turn for the Big Red Monster is imminent?
I think a face turn for Kane is very imminent. I kind of thought the sequence between him and Rollins was a little bit weird, though. I thought when he was kind of like bending down on one knee, I thought they're going to turn him there. I thought Rollins was going to curb stomp him and like kind of like turn him there, but he eventually choke slammed him and then let Rollins pin him. But I think anyone knows that Kane's going to be out of the Authority sooner than later, and I think that's good for Kane. I think, like you said earlier, Orton didn't get anything really out of Authority, and neither has Big Show. And the only one that's really got anything from the Authority is Rollins. So I think Kane coming out of the Authority with the mask back on would be good for the Big Red Monster.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a coincidence that we've had in every Kane backstage segment, if you've noticed, and the Divas thing last week and the various segments we saw with him this past week or last night on Raw, you can always see the Kane or the Kane mask in the case behind him, and that's no coincidence, obviously. So that face turn is coming sooner rather than later. We've seen Kane turn so many times in the past. It won't mean much, but I mean it's so much better than having him as the lapdog for the Authority, considering the fact he really hasn't meant much since he joined the faction over a year and a half ago. It's crazy to think it's been that long. But I look forward to the imminent turn. The way that it was built towards last night on Monday Night Raw in the match with Rollins was really well done. The crowd ate it all up. Thought it was great. So, Jake, what were your thoughts on the segment with the development of Kane last night, and what are your thoughts on him turning face in the near future?
I think that Kane is kind of interesting about how they teased him with the choke slam, about how it seemed like he wanted to be face, how he wanted to be the good guy, how he wanted to lead the Authority, yet he still kind of didn't. I feel like he had it in his hands. He could have taken the stipulation away from Rollins. He could have ruined his hopes of keeping the title at Extreme Rules by letting Orton just pick whatever he wants to beat him. And then he just let him, he just took him and pinned him. I don't know why he would do something like that. It makes me wonder, like, if there's something backstage with the Authority or something that would, like, give him a bonus or something that makes him want to stay with them. Maybe he just likes being in control. Who knows?
That's a good point. I mean, they never really established why he would want to stay with the Authority. Maybe it's the fact that he's been with them for so long and he feels like he's in his comfort zone or something. Like you said, you make a good point, and that they never really established why he has any direct association with the Authority, why he should stay with them. So hopefully they'll bring that point up in the near future. But the way that it was done last night, the face turn, looks like it was really well done. Like I said before, the crowd ate it all up, and I can't wait for him to finally turn in the very near future. I mean, there aren't many fresh feuds left for Kane that I'd be excited in seeing, but him with the mask on is 10 times more infinitely better than what he's doing currently as part of the Authority. So